Hello everyone, this is Arrow, and welcome back to Sundown Muna Podfics. Today we'll be continuing Fic Bullies by RandomWeirdCat, Chapter 32. Summary. The meeting continues. Masaru's eyes were full of horror. Hours went by. Nezu made sure to play every single video he had. He even gave the Bakugos a break to read the file. Mitsuki hasn't taken her eyes off the screen. Her eyes were always on her son as she watched all of his cruel acts. Her confident and determined look fell after the first video. Disappointment and anger replaced her once hopeful gaze. Aizawa had to step out when they played the sixth video. Izuku's screams were too painful to hear a second time. Nezu intertwined his paws together. I hope this has shined some light on this. His tail curled in on itself in anger. Masaru looked at his son. His face is pale and his mouth hung open. Mitsuki glances at the file from under her bangs. She's read every page, trying to find anything to prove her son was innocent in the end. She couldn't find a single damn thing. I don't know where to begin. Masaru's hands trembled. Katsuki, I thought you were... Oh God. The man stands up and places his hands on his head. Holy fucking hell, Mitsuki said. She refused to look at her son and tries to focus on her distressed husband and shaking hands. Katsuki was watching his parents. He knows he's grown. He has people who don't just follow him like dogs, and he's not looked at like a god anymore. He barely tries to talk to Deku. Everything was in the past. Deku knows that. He understands. His chest was tight and his eyes were watering. He was better. That's all there was to it. Nezu watches the two parents. I see you both understand the situation now. While I'm not going to just punish Bakugo, all of you will be going through family therapy. Now I can't fine or arrest you two because there aren't rules against praising their children too much and ignoring signals. Masaru's attention instantly snaps forward. Fine me for anything. Is Izuku going to therapy after you find him? I'll pay for it. I'll pay for anything he needs. Nezu shakes his head. You will have to talk to Inka Midoriya about that, and if you do after this meeting, please tell her to respond to my emails. Masaru nods quickly and looks down at his son. He turns his head quickly to look away. I'm a little overwhelmed. Can I step outside? He pleads. Nezu nods his head and the man takes off and runs out the door. Mitsuki watches. You said Katsuki might go to juvie. Yes, and I forgot to mention that the family therapy is mandatory, and if Inka Midoriya doesn't get back to me about pressing charges, then I shall be the one pressing charges for all of the damage Katsuki Bakugo has done to Izuku Midoriya's property and to school property that was not supposed to be damaged. I've calculated the numbers, and they are quite high. Nezu grins wildly. Mitsuki nods without raising her eyes. Oh, I think this meeting went well. Don't you both agree? The two blondes stayed silent. Katsuki sniffles and tries to hide it. Nezu chuckles. Now, Mrs. Bakugo, do I need to bring in actual witnesses and teachers to continue to prove your son has broken laws, or has it sunken in? No, please. I don't think I can handle all this at once. I'm still thinking everything over, and what have I done? I raised a... Katsuki's head snaps up, and he looks at his mother with wide, tear-filled eyes. Mitsuki raises her hands and drags them down her face. Katsuki, I don't understand. I really fucking don't. We never told you quirkless means worthless. Where did you even get that shit from? Mitsuki continued to yell. She only gets louder and louder. I was better. He was so much weaker. I had to be. Everyone said quirkless people weren't strong. I was just trying to... Katsuki sucks in a harsh breath. Red splotches appear around his eyes. You said I had a great quirk. That's all I needed. Deku didn't have one, so I just... Masaru walks back into the room. His glasses hung on his shirt and his hands were still shaking. I'm sorry about that. I just felt like the walls were caving in. He slowly walks to his family. The walls are caving specifically around your son. Izuku Midoriya was not and never will be weaker than anyone, especially ones with attitudes. Quirklessness does not equal weakness or uselessness. Nezu turns to the red-eyed boy. He's dealt with everyone's tormenting him for years, and he's still going. I don't know what the League of Villains are doing to him right now, but he is stronger than most, so I have hope. Nezu pats his desk and presses a button on his desk. I think I'll make some tea. Does anyone want some? The Bakugos shook their heads and remained silent. Nezu hums. All right, with that, our meeting is over. Until Inka Midoriya contacts me, some consequences will be put on hold, but the others, they will be in movement within 2 days. I shall see you all in court. Nezu gives a short wave. He watches the family stumble out of his office in shambles. A few minutes later, Aizawa walks back in. They look traumatized. Good. They should be. Chapter 33. Katsuki was escorted back to the dorms with President Mike. His parents left without saying anything to him. His dad barely looked at him, and his mom wouldn't stop looking at him like he was a... Damn it. President Mike was practically skipping to the dorms. They walk in through the doors, and everyone was there. Katsuki keeps his head down and tries to stomp past them. Kirishima is the first one to jump up and come towards him. Hey, you want to come finish the movie with us? It's about this super cool guy who got a bit of a... Katsuki roughly pumps shoulders with his best friend. No, he growls out and keeps walking. Ejiro grabs him by the shoulder and stops him. Dude, your eyes are like really swollen. Are you okay? He glances at the bouncing President Mike. Sero, Kaminari, and Ashido rush over as soon as they hear this. Ida pauses the movie and stands as straight as a board. Bakugo, if you are upset, we can all form a circle and talk about our feelings to get the negative emotions out. He raises his arm to chop the air vigorously. Yaoyorozu stands up as well. She starts to create tissues from her arms. I can make some tea and cocoa and find the marshmallows. We can either talk or write down or... Katsuki shoves Ejiro back and stumbles away from his friends. Shut the hell up already. I'm going to my room. He had to start packing his shit up. Kaminari raises his hands. Whoa, calm down. It's just a suggestion, and a good one. Maybe we should do that later. He winks at Ida and Yaoyorozu. Katsuki dodges Kirishima and Ashido's hands. He glares at both of them with watering eyes. Stop it. His friends gave him space immediately. Ejiro's eyes were filled with concern. Breathe. We're sorry. Todoroki stands and turns to President Mike. What happened? Did anyone find Midoriya and Shinsou and All Might? Are they dead? President Mike jolts forward and points at the red and white-haired boy. Hey, don't go jumping to conclusions like that. Nope, we haven't found them yet, but we're still trying our hardest to bring them home, so don't worry too much about them. They are all a bunch of really tough cookies. Todoroki nods and sits back down. That seemed to calm the room a bit. President Mike strikes a pose and glances at Katsuki. Your buddy over there is just upset about how well his meeting went. Ashido taps her chin. I don't think that's right. I don't think I've ever seen Bakugo cry happily over a meeting. Sure, he snores, but never cries. Unless you've been, moved to hero somehow without doing any test or something. Oh, wait! She snaps her fingers, and it seems that something clicks for Kaminari as well. Kaminari grins and jumps into the conversation. Did you break something? Dang, the principal must have really hounded you about that, if that's what happened. A hand on his shoulder stops him from continuing. He looks up at a grinning President Mike. You are very close to being right. Bakugo here did break quite a few things. President Mike pats Kaminari's head. Ashido grins. What'd he break? Was it a wall or something? Was it a car? She turns to President Mike. What did he break? There's glee in her dark eyes. He can tell you himself. President Mike walks away while whistling. He stuffs his hands in his pockets and tilts his nose up as he walks. Katsuki tilts his head back and tries to stop the tears. Kirishima understands immediately. The redhead gently grabs Katsuki and pulls him along. Come on. They go to the 4th floor and Katsuki is pulled into his room and forced to sit on his bed with a few gentle shoves. Ashido and Sero rub circles into his back, and Kaminari is holding his hand. He sits on his bed, his eyes are squeezed shut. Kirishima kneels in front of him. Take deep breaths, okay? We're right here. He had to tell them. They were his closest friends, and they'll understand. They know him. Katsuki opens his mouth and a sob shoots out. I hurt someone. They all froze. What? Sero asked before anyone else could. Bakugo bites the inside of his cheek. I hurt someone really badly, apparently, and now everything's falling apart. I don't know what to do. Apparently? Did you hurt them or not? Ashido asked, her grip tightening and her smile fading. They cried a lot, and I made them bleed. I hurt them. I broke a couple of their bones, and... Katsuki stops himself from continuing. His friends just stared at him. They all seemed frozen in time. Different emotions were in all of their eyes, and Katsuki starts to sweat. He turns from them and tries to get up. No, fuck this. I can't. A firm hand on his chest stops him from rising. He looks and sees Kirishima staring at him. Please talk to us. This is serious, and if you just walk away, that's unmanly. Kirishima's voice brings him back. Katsuki stops trying to move and sinks back into his bed. I don't want to talk anymore. This is serious. You were called in by the principal, Bakugo. You gotta tell us. You can't leave us hanging like that after you just said you broke someone's bones, Kaminari said with worry. The boy grips his shirt tightly and stares up at his friend. Katsuki slumps. I fucking can't. Sero puts a hand over his. Please? Pretty please? Come on, we tell you everything. Even when we're in trouble for stupid stuff. We talk about the problem, get it out of the way, and eat chips on the couch after. Sero's bright smile makes Katsuki cringe. If you really, really, really don't want to talk, it's okay. We can wait till you're ready, Sero said with a playful tone. Katsuki finds himself nodding before he can stop himself. He wants to slap himself for agreeing with these morons. Who did you hurt? Ashido's quiet voice breaks the silence. Katsuki opens his mouth and the words that came out sounded like nails on a chalkboard. They were unbelievable and heartbreaking. Alright everyone, that is the end of chapters 32 and 33 of Fuck Bullies. Thank you so much for listening and I'll see you all soon.